Welcome to The Dental Brief, the podcast that delivers actionable insights and expert strategies to help dental professionals like you grow, lead, and succeed. I'm your host, Patrick Shavasty, the president of Omni Premier Marketing. Every week at The Dental Brief, we bring you real conversations from expert speakers that offer expert advice and quick tips that make a real difference in practices nationwide. Whether you're a general dentist or run a multi-location practice, we've got you covered with content that's designed to help you attract more patients, to streamline your operations, reduce headaches in managing your practice, and increase your profitability. If you're ready to elevate your practice, be sure to subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and let's dive into today's episode of The Dental Brief. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Dental Brief. I'm so excited to have today's returning guest back on the program. I have said the name so many times, I know I'm going to make a mistake. Mandy Madeline, say hello.
Hi, Patrick. Thanks for having me again. It was so close, Madeline, but everybody says Madeline, so it is what it is.
Well, you corrected me like 4 times before we got started, and for some reason I just can't, right? I think we both had long days today. Anyways, Mandy, I know I got that part right. It's great to have you on the program. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Mandy, bitesizesolutions.com, awesome website, URL, by the way. Tell me, let's just start where we always start. How'd you get involved in dentistry? How'd you get in this fun world?
Yeah, so I got involved in dentistry 18 years ago and started as a dental assistant, moved into leadership, operational roles, worked inside of a dental practice for 18 years. Last time I was on the show, we talked about payment solutions that is part of the solution that we bring through Bite-Size Solutions and the transition that I made to bring different solutions to dental offices today. Just really knowing the struggles inside of the practice that I faced and that others face, and wanting to be a part of bringing solutions that worked for me and for practices and team members. And so today we're talking a little bit about systems and processes and how that can really change for a practice and a team.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing to talk about. I like to use the terminology, the 3 Ps, right? So we're talking about, in that case, people, processes, and products. Products would be things like software that we use, telephones that we use to answer. Systems, obviously, is one of those Ps, right? It's the processes or systems. It's kind of the same thing.
Right.
So I'm glad that we're going to talk about those 2 things. I think they're both really important. So let's just jump right in it. Let's talk about 2 of those 3 Ps, or in your case, the systems, processes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's, I guess, just start here. When we think about systems and processes in your practice, if I ask the question, if a key team member quit tomorrow, would your practice still run the same next week? And I think that's something that all practice owners think about. If they're not thinking about it, they should think about it, because that's really important. If my office manager or my hygienist or my treatment coordinator, if any of those team members left and play a real key part and role in everyday operations, and if there's systems that are living inside of their head and we don't know what they are, what are they doing every day that I don't know, what they're doing? Are those systems recorded? Do we have videos? Do we have workflows of what all of that looks like for our systems and processes, and what our daily workflow looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's these things are absolutely critical when you do have, and it doesn't matter if it's dental practice. I don't care what kind of business it is. If you have an employee that is in a very important role who quits and you're not prepared for that, that is a surefire way to feel like the business owns you rather than you owning the business, right? Things go into chaos. Vacations can be canceled. Family trips can be canceled. I mean, all these things can happen. You may need to force other team members to now take on responsibilities that they weren't planning for or weren't ready for, or were planning on going on vacation, and now you're asking them to stay behind and bail you out. So these things are really important. So where does this all start? Like, where's the when you're looking at building playbooks, SOPs, that sort of thing, it's a big elephant to eat. So where's a pretty good place to start taking bites, if you will?
Yeah. Well, what we do is take what's already working inside of the practice and get those things out of people's heads. So, like, what systems are we doing today that we want to keep and turn those into clear systems? So, really starting there and starting to build out what our systems are that we want to repeat and starting to build that playbook out. And we use different software that we can build all of those systems into to create training paths for each role inside of the office. So if I'm onboarding a new team member today, I have certain processes that I want them to read and follow and understand. I don't want to give them a stack of papers of everything that goes into the office, and half of it might not even pertain to their role or responsibility. So that's another part of that, is once we get all of those pieces together and the systems built out and everything in place, then we want to start building out some real roles and responsibilities for each one of the roles in the office so that we have a clear path for everybody, especially when we're onboarding, especially when we're training, and just somewhere that people can go during the day. That, let's say I'm going to take a CBCT and I haven't taken one in a month because I usually don't do this, but I'm stepping in to help do that.
Sure.
How easy would it be for me to have something in the office where I can easily just pull up a quick video and refresher? Okay, step by step, I know how to take this. I can grab this patient and take this CBCT. So
Right.
just being able to, have some of those at your fingertips and make your day-to-day easier.
Yep, that makes total sense to me. One thing, and I heard this one time, and I don't remember if it was you or someone else that mentioned something along the lines of, how important onboarding is as far as employee retention is concerned, as far as keeping employees. I mean, it was at one time, it was not this specific subject, but I was at a convention or a speaking engagement, and somebody asked a crowd of dentists, has however many of you have hired someone that you thought was great and they never came back after their first day? And like 95% of the room raised their hand. And then they said, how many of you have had somebody start their first day, go to lunch, and not come back from lunch? It was about the same number of people, right? It seems like this has happened to all people. And every single person, and I get it, they're going to blame that person for leaving, right? And if that person left without saying anything, I can get why they would. But if you have people that are starting with you and they're leaving at the first day or after halftime of the first day, probably got some major issues that you got to try to shore up before you bring on any more people. Would you agree with that?
Well, and if you really dive deep into figuring out why did that happen,
Yeah.
it's all going to come back to what that onboarding looked like that day.
Yeah.
And did you provide that new team member with a clear path, and they really felt comfortable and confident day one, knowing this is my role, these are going to be my responsibilities, and they've really taken the time to build out a training for me that pertains to me. And
Right.
I mean, there are so many times that, this system and that we use today at Bite Size, I used in my last practice as the first place that I built this system out in. And I can't tell you the amount of times that a new team member where it was just in awe. Like, I've never experienced an onboarding like this before, where there's an actual something for me to follow and learn. And this pertains to my job and as something to track. And it's just incredible the difference that makes day one, and making sure that team member comes back versus saying, I'm going to throw you in there and start answering the phones or start assisting, and you have no idea what our vision and mission is in the practice or what our expectations are for you. So usually it's those people that if they didn't come back after lunch, they were probably thrown in.
Yep. So it's great information, great take on it for sure. Let's jump back to your website real quick. Bite Size Dental Solutions. I see real easy to set a discovery call with you. So if somebody's looking to really improve their onboarding and their SOPs, right, their processes, their playbooks, that's a good place to start, right? Hit that, schedule a discovery call, and they'll meet with you or somebody else.
Yes, they will meet with me, and we'll really just do a walkthrough of what this looks like for their practice today, and what do they have in place today? What do they want to change, and how can we make those things better?
Love it. Mandy, thank you so much for sharing with us today. Again, folks, check out the website, bitesizesolutions.com. Mandy, we're grateful for you. Come back again soon.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Dental Brief. If you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a colleague who could benefit. We're here to help dental professionals like you stay ahead of the curve, one brief episode at a time. You can find more episodes and resources at thedentalbrief.com. You can also join the Growth-Minded Dentist community on Facebook. Links are in the description. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and thanks for being part of the Dental Brief community.